Okay. Listen, Ekeobong. Look, I did it like I just learned some new languages because everybody. I just want to let y'all know I took about like 5 minutes more than I needed to before we started this recording to learn her name, which is a shame on me. So all of West Africa, forgive me. No, a little fun. Well, no, I'm super excited to talk to you. You know, you're about you're starring on Tyler Perry's Ruthless, which is, really taking off. So I want to
Yeah.
first talk about that, then get into knowing about you, your other projects, and you just as an actress.
Okay. That's awesome.
So this new role, please tell me about it, the name of the character, or all the stuff that you can let us know.
Shoot, I don't even know what I can or can't let you all know, but I'm hopefully not going to give too much information. I play Laura. She is a new character on season 3 towards the latter half. So she shows up after the mid-season break. So really soon. And she comes into the camp with her husband, and they go for one thing and soon realize that they are not in a safe place, and it just becomes a fight for your life.
Nice. And when I have to say it that way, because I love how you said a fight for your life, because it seems like in the show, people go to that camp and they get sucked in. I do not know how they get tricked.
That show is just insane. It's called Ruthless for a reason. It is like high stakes all the time. From the moment you start to the moment you end, you're fighting, like you're on the edge of your seat trying to figure out if who's gonna make it. No, it's crazy. Yeah.
How does it feel to be on a show that is not only by Tyler Perry Studios, but that's on BET Plus, that has a amazing cast of actors and actresses like yourself on there with the more added publicity. I always feel like there's that level of stress because I'm like, there's that many more eyes on me now, and it's just like,
Wow. I mean, I feel honored, first of all. That was this has been so far the biggest open door for me in my career so far. So I feel like I'm kind of just getting started, and it's been an honor to be on a show that has such a devout following. That's been going on for a few seasons now, and just it knows what it wants to do, and it's very clear, and the characters are very clear. And for me as an actor, it with the stakes being so high all the time, it's actually really fun because you get to dive into a world you would never be a part of in real life, and you get to feel things you probably won't feel. And being around other actors that are also on their A game definitely helps you step it up. Tyler Perry, working with Tyler Perry, are you kidding me? I used to watch Tyler Perry with my family in our living room. I used to watch his plays.
yeah.
We heard his story growing up. We all knew who Tyler Perry was. So for this to be the first door, I mean, I just was like, wow, blown away that I was even given the opportunity, honestly. And it's just been an honor. And getting to work with him as a director and getting to see him in motion, doing all the things that he does, wearing all the hats that he wears, it's just incredible. It really inspired me, honestly, and it let me know, like, there's no real cap to this. You can start off as an actor, but you can own a studio at some point, if you're really willing to put in all the hard work and sacrifice that he was willing to put in to get there. So it's like my mind has been expanded to all the possibilities, and it's just been an honor. Like, this was just like, wow.
I love that this is your first, kind of breakout series because it's pushing you in a place, like you said earlier, that you would not, that's not a reality that you would have found yourself in, right? Like, there's no way you're finding yourself on this compound, this crazy things. And if you are married or have a boyfriend, whatever, you're not there. You were like, some don't even seem right. We're not even going in the months, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like with your energy, with all of that, I feel like if you were on when Insecure was on or Harlem or something, it would have been like, oh my gosh, I totally see her there. But it's like, see, she can do something different. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
like it adds a layer of versatility
Yeah.
early on that now other casting directors and people can what you call it, really get to see about you.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point from, like, just the casting perspective, a show that stretches you that much. And I don't know if you're aware how Tyler Perry shoots. A lot of his schedules, it works out where we really just get one take.
Oh, really? One take, that's it?
Mm-hmm. I
Oh,
mean, sometimes, if he has to do another take, he would, but it's like for an actor, it stretches you because you have to show up in that moment right there, right then, and whatever you deliver is what it's going to be for the most part. And so I don't know, it's just like, I personally like, I know a lot of people don't like that kind of system, but I like it because I just feel like it's the adrenaline rush of knowing that this is my one go.
Yeah.
And I gotta be in it fully. There's no, oh, let me try it again. No, deliver right away. And it has helped me grow tremendously in my craft as an actor. I've seen the way it's changed how I approach other projects, other roles. I mean, if I'm not getting locked up in a dungeon somewhere, then I'm like, oh, that's a piece of cake, because I'm not being like, when someone isn't trying to capture me. Oh, okay, cool, yeah. Easy, because you're used to that. So from the casting perspective, from the actor perspective, I'm grateful for this particular show being able to be something that I can present to the world, to the industry.
Nice. What is it about this role that you felt a place you had to dig deep to kind of make sure you fulfilled it correctly, that it came off, as they say, believable? Like, is there something you have to like go, an emotion that you normally don't tap into on your everyday life, or a memory that you kind of be like, girl, I forgot that, I ain't even trying, but you're like, that's that memory, I got to remember how I felt in that moment?
The first thing that came to mind was desperation. Like you said, people come to this compound, and how do they not know? Most people that come to the compound are coming from a place of desperation. They really need something that they believe the highest has to offer. And my character is no different. She came there with desperation. And if you are an actor at any point in your life, you've experienced desperation. Yeah. So I was able to tap into what it feels like to really want something so bad that you're willing to probably risk your life to try to get it. And just the high stakes of, if I don't get this thing, what's going to happen to me? Mm-hmm. What am I willing to sacrifice to make sure that I get what I'm looking for? And I had to remember that throughout the shooting process. Every time I was rehearsing, I had to tap into, how badly do you want this thing? And my character did a lot of things that you would normally not do unless you're in a place of desperation.
Nice. I love that. So we've gotten on this show, we got on Laura, right? So what about you? Where's your origin story in all of this? Where did this for acting come? Where did you say, you know what, I want to be in an industry where my next gig, my next check is not guaranteed? Because I always love to hear that from all of you, because that's a testament in its own. That's like going on a relationship where a person says, you know what, I'm a cheater, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it to you. You know what I mean? It's like you're taking this chance and you're just there. Maybe the analogy was a little off, but
my origin story, I am Nigerian, hence the name Ekeobong. I was born there, and me and my family immigrated to the Caribbean when I was young. We first lived on this island called Dominica, and then we moved to St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. So that's where I grew up, little island girl, Caribbean girl, until I was 18. So why did I decide I want to be an actor? It's hard for me to talk about that without talking about my faith, because it kind of goes hand in hand. I'm a Christian, and it felt like a calling. And I was 10 years old, and I was watching the Disney Channel, and there was this, at the time, the song that was playing, and it had all your favorite Disney Channel characters in it. It was like, the circle of life is the wheel of fortune, da 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 da. I had Hannah Montana not Hannah Montana, Lizzie McGuire was on there, Even Stevens, all your favorite, characters, and they were all singing together. And I don't know what happened. I started bawling, like hard tears, like something had happened. My mom ran into the room like, are you okay? What's going on? And I was like, through like my heavy breathing, I told her, I want to be there. I want to be with them. I was 10 years old, and I remember it like it was yesterday, because it was a defining moment for me in my life, and I didn't know what it meant. I remember feeling something so deeply inside of me, and I didn't know what, I'm in the islands. I don't know what it's like to pursue acting. I didn't know what trying to be an actor was. I just saw people on TV, and I just knew I wanted to be with them. Yeah. And that stayed with me throughout my life. Like, I'm here now. Like, it was the reason I came to California for college. It directed a lot of my decisions after that. And as I continued to really understand what I was saying yes to and what that journey really entailed, I had to continually choose to say yes, because it's hard, you know, and it's not guaranteed. And I have gone through the very typical actor's journey. I was a server, you know, I drove Uber, I did pedicabbing, I worked at Starbucks, I hustled.
Yeah.
I wanted to quit every single week. I cried, I broke down, I got back up again. And I could not have been able to do all of that without having this deep faith inside of me, knowing that this is part of my journey. And, you know, me showing up on these screens, it's going to matter to someone one day. And so it just felt like purpose, honestly. And if it wasn't, I probably wouldn't have stuck it out. But I stuck it out because I was like, what else am I going to do? Like, what else am I going to do? Is from 10 years old, I made this decision. I got to see it through. So and this open door kind of came at the heels of a moment of wanting to quit. And we hear those stories a lot. Like, if you read people's biographies when they're, you know, they were just about to move out of LA, they were just about to quit, then boom. Unfortunately, that was kind of me too. I wasn't, you know, it was like 2020 had just happened. Things were changing. You didn't know where you stood in the world, really. I was going home to the islands a lot, and I was starting to consider maybe just staying there for a while. And bada bing, bada boom. God's like, no, you got to stay here.
I love that, you know, and for myself, I love these stories to like really touch to people and really make them understand that they're not alone in this, you know. And so I like to get deeper from the times you were going back and forth, right? There was something also like egging you not to. Like, there's that part of you, there's that little, maybe the faith of a mustard seed. There's that little part that's like, girl, no, we not doing this. But there's that bigger part that's like, girl, just give it up. You just look, it's we gonna come back later on. We gonna come back to LA later on once everything goes. What was it besides this opportunity? What else was it inside of you that said, I just not right now. I need to hold out a little bit longer?
Well, I mean, God's promises, you know, and knowing that I had a role to play and seeing them come to pass. If I gave up, then I gave up. If I stuck it out, then maybe I'll see it come to pass. And just the general question of, I think anything we decide to do with our lives is going to require hard work, sacrifice, if it's worth it. So I said, I might as well go through, if I'm going to be miserable pursuing anything anyway, I might as well be miserable pursuing the thing I really want for the chance that it could work out, than be miserable pursuing something else that isn't my dream. And for the chance of that working out too. So it's like, I always went back and forth. What else are you going to go and invest yourself in? At this point, see this investment through. You know? So it's kind of like that. Like, it was just like, just keep going, because what if it does work out? You know?
No, I love that. I really do. Now thinking about you know, supporters and people, because then you're at this moment, right? And we hear so many times how important it is to have a support system. Who are the people in your life that make sure that, though you probably broke down and you're like, I'm packing up to the islands, I'm about to live me a good life with some clean water and some nice sand, that said, nope, girl, we are not doing that. You have a purpose, you have a passion, you've been sacrificing. Just hold out a little bit longer.
Man, I'm tearing up just thinking about that, because I've had to lean on those people this year a lot too. I've had a few. Obviously, my mom, my family, my pastors have definitely played a big role. And I'm grateful to have a family that supported me, because coming from a Nigerian family, it's not often that you get support in pursuing the arts. You know, it's usually go for medicine, go for law, you know, and engineering, or any of those more secure paths. And I get it, but that just wasn't me. And so my parents, my family, and throughout my journey, you know how there are people that are there for life, and then there are people that are there for seasons. I always had people that were there for seasons who were there just to encourage me.
Yeah.
And there are some people that have seen, like I have, should I call names or just be general? Because I have like names of people I can call.
You can call them
But if
out.
I name people and then I don't name some other people, they'll be like, how
Oh,
come
then they're gonna be mad. They're gonna be like, girl, why you? So you gonna act like
yeah,
I'm
but I'll
with you?
name like I have this one friend from the islands. We've known each other from middle school. So like someone who's really known me, heard me talking about this my whole life, like always believed in me for some reason. And that person has still been a voice of encouragement. Anytime I felt discouraged, they just spoke life to me. They reminded me of my identity. They reminded me of, you know, what I'm really doing and what I'm fighting for. I have a friend, Ruthie, oh Lord, Ruthie, we lived together. So at one point we were both kind of going through crazy seasons of life, just like things just not looking right. And we just cried all the time, but we had each other and we always encourage each other. So it's a back and forth. And then in 2018, I went up to I took a hiatus, I took a break, and I went to Northern California for ministry school of all things. I just felt really led to go there, and I met two of my best friends in my life right now that are going to be lifers, that are lifers, who have always been a place I can call and cry and vent, and they were just there. So I would have people that I felt like God literally brought into my life for those moments. And then I have people that have been on a journey with me for a little longer. And all of those people have been able to speak. I just felt like I always had someone motivating me when I was down. And I think that was the grace of God. And I praise him for that, because I don't know how I made it. I really don't. I do have moments where I'm like, how did you get through that? How did you, you know, and someone was there, and I can't remember who all of them were. It's been a long journey, but there was always, I always remember just when I was just needing to like, just about to, be done, or be like, feeling like I was at my capacity or at my, like, I'm gonna tap out. Someone was always there. I'll get a text message, or, you know, I'll go on YouTube. Even sometimes it'll be like people you don't know, you know, people you see just scrolling through something and you just see a message and you know that you were meant to see that message. It'll be exactly a thought I had just before, and then bam. So those little moments too also kind of kept me just seeing the right thing at the right time. I'm a big believer in signs. I had certain signs I used to see all the time. I see 11s a lot.
I was about to ask you if you do angel numbers. I was like, I swear she probably do some angel numbers. I know she.
Yeah. Oh man. It started happening in college and I was freaked out by it because I was like, what is this? I called my mom and I was like, I mean, I'm seeing 11s everywhere. I'm seeing 1-1s. What's happening? Am I cursed? What's happening? And she's like, no, you know, sometimes God speaks through numbers. I was like, numbers? What is that supposed to mean? But it has happened throughout my journey. And it'll be times where I am not seeing any movement in my life, any movement in my career, but I'm seeing 11s everywhere. So those were signs to me, keep going.
Yeah.
We're still on the journey. I got you. Keep going. So that also helped me.
Nice. I love that. And I like to be conscious of her time. And I'm always wanting to make sure I stay under a certain amount, because then we start talking more, and then it'd be like, okay, now we talking like we had brunch or something. And now we're all the way off topic. Like, girl, you that movie today. you ready for Wakanda Forever today? But before we end, you know, faith is so big with you, right? God is the head of your house. He guides your path. He guides your feet. He all that good stuff. Is there anything in this industry, because, you know, as a working actor and as an artist, there are times where a script or role will call for maybe something that doesn't, you know, align with you spiritually. Have you thought about that? Is there anything that you already know that's like on my list of, this may be a great role, but AK ain't doing that. She is not doing this today.
Well, I'm not as like, faith is important and my relationship with God is important, but I'm not that like, how do I say this in a way? I'm not trying to offend people who are, but I'm not very religious. I don't have strict rules about what I would do, what I wouldn't do. I mean, doing this show, honestly, there are things my character has to, like, this being my first book, and blew my mind because I'm like, I dove right into all the crazy.
You say, God, you want me to just go for it?
This is what you got me doing. Okay. So, but I felt so much confirmation on this open door. Like, even being on the set, like, there were so many things and signs for me that I knew that this was him. So it gave me peace with all the things that my character had to do. And it also broke off any kind of religious thought I could have had of, oh, a Christian shouldn't do this, Christian shouldn't do that. Well, then why did he open this door? You know? So I think it broke me out of my shell more than I thought I was even in a shell. I thought I wasn't, like, very boxed in about some things, but then I realized when that role came, I did feel some challenges I had to work through to get to that place. Now I kind of take it role by role. If there's a role that calls for something crazy, but I feel peace about it, I'm an actor. I want to do the crazy, you know? I love it. But there could be a role that doesn't even call for crazy and I don't feel peace about it. And I don't know why, but I won't move forward. So I've never really had to face that yet, but it is something I do think about, like being in a position where something is requiring too much of me and ever having to come to a place where I have to say no. I haven't gone there yet, but if I have to, I definitely will.
Nice. Well, this has been great. Went to church with you today, so that's all.
Sorry. I hope it wasn't too like.
No, that's a good thing. For me, like, again, these interviews are all about people learning and connecting with you on the way that is authentic to you. You know what I mean? So I do appreciate that. So I've had a great time. I always make sure the other person had a great time with me as well.
Great.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.